Heroes of Greyhawk is a game played by adults and recorded for an adult audience. Sometimes we use adult language and explore adult topics. Consider yourself warned.
My friends, in our last session, the Golden Shears found themselves magically transported to a dungeon room in an unknown location. Nori took a slight, though notable detour into a shadowy, monochromatic domain of dread where she encountered a massive shadow-filled crystal, a vision of her brother Nalvin, and a demonic entity. That's a tough word to say sometimes. The battle was waged and Nori survived with the help of a new power to call upon the dead to serve her will. The words of her matron echoing in her head as she rejoined her friends. "Do not tarry for long, Nori Bibblespark. My patience is short, and my gifts may be revoked." One by one, the party landed, emerging from the portal, finding themselves in a dark dungeon, face to face with the man who'd killed Desmond's brother Jack only moments earlier. The man introduced himself as Zelroth Umbra and laid a choice before the Shears: enact revenge for Jack's murder, or work for Zelroth in return for Jack's life via magical means. As leverage, Zelroth revealed his knowledge of Xanthi's true form, replaying for the group a magical recording of a private conversation in which Xanthi revealed her true form to Alrin and the others. With little alternative, Desmond agreed to help Zelroth in exchange for his brother's life. A deal was struck. Desmond was given a piece of parchment with the name Philodrin Karst and the words Eye of Twilight. Emerging from the dungeon, the party found themselves outside the walls of Verbobonc, far from Hamlet and Nulb, but familiar to Desmond. Not his birthplace, but the location of most of his misspent youth. Following Desmond's lead, the party sought refuge at the Silver Lyre Inn, located in the Wharf District just outside the gates to the city. There they ate, drank, and discussed their commitment to helping Desmond save his brother while maintaining a healthy skepticism of their new benefactor. As the night grew late and the party retired, Desmond took a stroll along the docks where he ran into a beggar who seemed to speak in nonsensical riddles, though perhaps containing a kernel of wisdom. Desmond asked about the dogs, and the man commented that they'd been scattered, their master fallen. Alrin ended the night with a bit of song while Nori and Xanthi retired to talk about what had happened to Nori during the teleportation from Nulb and the purpose of her mysterious shard of the Shadow Crystal, which fit magically into the pommel of her sword. It's here, my friends, where we're going to go ahead and pick up with tonight's session. You guys are in Verbobonc. A new day is dawning. You've achieved a long rest after a restful night's sleep. The weariness of multiple significantly challenging encounters leading up to your arrival in Verbobonc probably taken a bit of a toll, but you have indeed had a rest. There is a sense of urgency for at least some of you to save your brother, to save your brother. Anybody else have any brothers to save? And that's where we'll begin.
Sister.
Save your sister. This is the siblings, save the siblings episode.
See, we should have called it Scissor Siblings.
Ooh, don't Google that.
Nope.
No.
Nope, that's not right.
That's not going to work. All right. So anyways, thank you, Shelly. Anyways, as we start, you guys make your way to the common room where there is a breakfast being offered for 3 silver apiece. You can enjoy a fine omelet with a side of roasted nuts, some fresh fruit, and a slice of fine, freshly baked sourdough. Should you want to.
I would use prestidigitation to get the onion bread out of my teeth and out of my breath from last night that I had special when I was told to stop playing because it was making everybody sad and cry.
Are you just cleaning your teeth now?
No, there was just one little piece that I missed.
Okay.
And onion bread's pretty strong, so I'm giving my morning clean after my night clean. You understand?
It's pretty important.
It is.
Okay.
It is. I'll do it after breakfast too. Don't worry.
Did you guys teach the lyre to do a new song after we went to bed?
No,
I mean, I played with
Aw.
it and
I
it
didn't.
didn't change.
Is it playing right now,
Alright.
Dave?
No. Nope.
What? It takes time off.
We're not running a sweatshop here.
Union?
Does it have like a room in the back where it lives?
The instrument?
Mm-hmm.
How would you get it down?
Maybe it
It's
gets
just like it's
gets
floating
tired.
up there.
It's an instrument.
Yeah, it doesn't get
It's a
tired.
magical instrument.
Yeah. It's not a person.
Well, where is it
Turn
gone then?
on.
It knows when to play. You got to say the magic word to get it to start.
Maybe it needs
Oh.
oiling.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Sometimes a
And it's not-
polish, a good polish.
You can touch it.
Not you.
Oh, I'm not saying me. Just in general.
Sure. You can clean the thing. Every once in a while, a string breaks. Got to restring it. Do you not understand how magic works? None of yous.
I mean,
You haven't seen magic.
yeah, of course, but
Yeah.
not.
No, we're just simple people at a tavern.
This is how we learn things. We ask questions. Things can be different
Right.
from one magic item to another. So, it's just smart of us to be inquisitive like this. Not awkward
Mhm.
whatsoever.
Yeah,
Interesting.
magical objects are very different from one to another. Like a silver lyre that plays beautiful music is totally different than a cursed dagger.
For example, we're just listing
Oh.
examples. I mean, we don't
Not that I've ever seen
know
one of
anything
those.
about. No. Aren't you busy serving people right now?
I'm so hungry.
Oh, here's your omelet.
Oh,
She lays down food in front of each of you. And then she looks at Desmond. Don't touch the lyre. Don't even think about it.
I won't. I'm totally gonna touch it later.
I heard
Put your
that.
gloves on.
I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
Got my
Don't
eyes
touch
on
that
you,
thing. You
boyo.
crazy.
Got my eyes on you. All right, guys, what are you going to do with your day in Verbobonc?
Well,
I mean, technically, you're outside the gates. You're in like the wharf district of Verbobonc, so you haven't quite entered into the city proper. But this is one of the areas that Desmond probably knows the best. Is this part of the settlement?
Dave, what would Desmond know about getting into the city?
Well, you go through the north gate. There's a gate to enter. There are guards that are manning all the entrances to the city itself, whether that's the vigil wardens or billets or some other contingent of royal guards. There's sometimes tighter security than others, and certainly depending on where you are, there might be harder areas to enter into. There are a series of gates inside the city as well to even further kind of control access. What you do know as well of the guards and quote unquote the law of Verbobonc is that they tend to disperse justice in a very even keeled way. Some more, I don't know, egalitarian than others. Sometimes the billets, for example, can be a bit much, and they have been the ones that you've probably tried to stay away from the most. They're the ones that directly serve the Church of St. Cuthbert. There are other religions in Verbobonc, but certainly Cuthbert's the largest active religion and has a very tight connection with the governing family. So, but yeah, there's a variety of guards, factions, and ways to enter different parts of the city. And oftentimes they will dispense with justice in a very quick way. It's not the kind of place where you go off half-cocked and get into trouble willy-nilly, but there are ways to get things done. Certainly you grew up learning some of those ways.
But he has no reason to kind of be apprehensive about running into them right now, I guess. Probably not.
Well, you were motivated enough to get out of town rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that means for Desmond's perspective, I don't know. You're not, I guess if you're asking if you're like a wanted man by the law, I would say no.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily know the connections that the man that you stole from has in this town.
That's true.
So, yeah.
All right, so we have a bunch of information that we need to find out. And since we're in a big city, we should go to a potion shop anyway and get some potions of healing because we don't have any more.
Yeah, that would be useful for sure.
If we tried to do these things rather quickly, that would also be useful. We need to get out of here. I really need to get north. If north is where Emberty Meadows is.
South.
South. I really need to get south.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty quick. I mean, I know we're trying to help your brother, but something really weird is happening to mine too. I don't know what it is, but if we could do this quick, quick as possible, I'd be really appreciative.
Okay. We should wrap things up and get out of here then.
I don't know how long this is going to take.
Library too. We've been in all these little tiny towns, and I haven't been able to look up what a star child is, or anything about changelings, or
Maybe this is a divide and conquer type situation today. Is that wise? I don't know too much about your previous time here, Des, but
I mean, I'm sure things have cooled down a bit now. Maybe.
Yeah, you don't sound real sure.
I mean, I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. All right, then. Then I'm not either.
all right. Well, maybe Team A goes to the magic shop and sees about the potions, and she'll cast a message and she'll point at Nori and say, "And about our scrying problem."
Yes, I will say out loud, not thinking.
And then, Team B can go to the library and look up some information on, stuff we need, and, this other thing. Because we don't even know what a Twilight Eye is. Right?
No, I don't think so. Sounds like it's probably some kind of object, right?
Yeah, it's probably a medallion or something. They always call like like a gem an eye. So maybe
Yeah.
it's like a really expensive gem.
And I will lean in close to my companions and say, before I faded off to sleep last night, the name we were looking for, it rung a bell from one of the missions my parents did.
Your
I should
parents.
look into that too, yes.
What kind of mission?
Well, they did hunt. They hunted evil, all sorts of creatures and beings, and they went all over the place. So before I fell asleep, I just something ticked in my mind. I remember hearing that name at some point.
Well, maybe we can get information about that guy too.
And then, if we can trade some of the gems we have for more useful gems, that would be handy.
We do have a lot of things to sell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
We
piles
want
of things. Like
to
going all the
see-
way back to the moat house, right?
Yeah, it's true. Should we give Team A the bag?
Yeah, maybe. I don't.
All right. Team A, you are on shopping duty, and she like gives the bag.
Is the doll still in? The doll's still in here, right?
Yeah, just don't think about it when you reach your
Yeah.
hand in there, or you're gonna come up with some creepy on the other
Yeah,
end.
she just
Well,
stays
gonna
in
have to
there.
look. Gonna have to
You-
reach in there, right, to get stuff out.
No, you
That's-
just think about what you want, or you say what you want, and it will come out. So don't say creepy cursed doll.
What if I think
One-
it?
one
Sometimes I
time
don't
I-
have a lot of control over my thoughts. What
Yeah,
if I
one
think
time
it?
I
Well,
one time I
think-
slipped up and I put my hand in there and I felt this little on my hand.
Oh,
You touched it.
Just a slight little.
you probably
This
got
is why
cursed.
I gave you
I
gloves.
got right out of there.
Both of you have beautiful gloves to protect you from curses.
Should
Which
have
we're
been
not
wearing
going to
my
use
gloves.
because we're not going to reach in there. I mean, we'll wear them, right? But we're not going to reach in there. So
All right, but the money's
Okay.
in there, and the gems are in there, and a bunch of random junk to sell is in there. So see
This is
what you
a-
can get.
this is a little bit weird though, because this is a lot of your stuff. You just want me to sell whatever? Just
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah, well, I mean, Alrin's going with you, so like,
Do you
you'll
want
be
us
able
to just sell
probably
whatever?
get a good deal.
Okay, well, yes, that's good. But I mean, are we just going to sell? We, Team A,
The two newest people to the group
just
are going to sell all your
sell
shit.
all your shit.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, I got a deal for you.
Well, all right, Alrin, I guess it's Christmas Day for us. Let's go. Do you want the doll still? What if we can unload the doll?
I mean, if you find somebody that actually wants to buy the doll, I'd be okay with selling it. If we can
Okay.
sell it.
Yeah, go ahead,
It
sell
might
the
just
doll
come
if you
back.
can. And if you can get any diamonds,
Yeah.
if I have
Yeah.
300 diamonds, I could bring one of you back from the dead if you die.
300 diamonds or 300?
Golden
300
Gold.
diamonds? Oh, okay.
Well,
300
if they're
gold.
1 gold apiece, then you need 300 of them. Otherwise,
what if I
one
had-
300 gold piece
Mhm.
diamond.
This is too much math. Okay, got it. I'm probably not going to try to sell the doll because remember we were talking before about how it's nice to know where the weird stuff is.
I mean, I don't expect you'll find a buyer, so like whatever, but if you can give it away to someone who isn't responsible enough,
Alrin, that sounds like a challenge. Let's
that
do
would
it.
be fine.
You never know. There might be a shop that sells, like creepy, curious things.
keep our eye out. That's not first order of business, but it's there.
So are we just doing this? Are we meeting back here for lunch after we've done? What are we doing here? How long do you guys need?
Oh yeah, where should we meet?
Well, let's definitely meet back here for dinner.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't know.
How are we? What is our how? How are we going to go about getting information? This is the main thing here, right?
Well, you're going to the magic shop, and you're on necessities and selling. So go, you do that, and then Des and I are going to find a library.
We're in a city. What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah, I know this is new territory.
All right. See you later. Just grabs Jess. Like, shoves him out the door.
Alrin, I don't feel like I got my question answered.
You did not.
It's okay.
We have a bag of stuff though.
We could sell all their stuff. I mean, some of it's ours too, right? But
Yeah.
not all of it.
We got a bunch of gems recently, so we need to trade them so we can get the diamonds. I mean, that'd be great.
All right, so Xanthi, as you and Desmond take off, you leave the Silver Lyre Inn, headed towards the north gate to entry into the city proper. And as you're moving through, there are people bustling about. The town is abuzz. The Dwarf District is busy. There is apparently a lot of trade that goes on here. It's settled on the river, so at the north end of the city kind of overlooks the Velverdiva River, and there's just a lot of commerce and activity happening. Ships that are setting sail, ships that are coming in, goods, all kinds of cargoes that are being moved from place to place. You see a young boy run up and hop. He has this little box that he throws down on the ground. He hops up on the box and he says, "Breaking news! Lady Greysteel and her Red Crows have returned home upon their swift success in putting down an insurgency of evil in the gnarly wood. Beware, travelers! Bandits in the Cienega Valley, merchants robbed, horses stolen. Travel in groups and stay vigilant. His noble lordship has called upon another reservist regiment to deal with piracy on the Velvediva. Sharpen your steel, hug your children, kiss your wives." And then he picks up his little box and runs off.
He's pretty good.
Okay, Red Crows.
Yeah. Have you heard of them before?
Yeah, they're like a really famous group of adventurers. You know, like they've done everything.
I don't know if I've ever heard of them before, but I believe you.
Actually, you have heard of them. I'll remind you,
okay.
Andy, the Red Crows played a pivotal role in putting down the Temple of Elemental Evil in the last couple of days.
Oh, okay.
They actually had saved Prince Thrommel from his captivity in the temple, somewhere in the depths of the temple, and are being hailed as the heroes of the realm for their bravery and deeds, and are likely to be rewarded greatly. Lavish gifts and jewels and wealth beyond imagination.
They just stumbled onto a giant pile of treasure, I'm sure.
You've probably heard of Lady Greysteel as well. She is considered in some circles to be a potential heir to the throne when his honorable Viscount Wilfric finally steps down. It's unclear who will be the next to rule Verbobonc, but she's certainly been talked about in some circles. She's quite a hero. You've definitely heard of her.
So cool. Do you think that we'll run into a celebrity?
It's been known to happen. I've seen a few.
Yeah,
in my
who have
time.
you seen?
Yeah. I mean, that one guy, oh, shit, I forgot his name. It's been a while. You know,
Okay.
like famous adventurers that you kind of hear about every now and then.
Yeah. Like people would come by Lulu's shop all the time, like, and they'd get maps and they would tell me stories and, like, but I don't think I've ever seen the Red Crows. Like, I just heard about them.
Okay, so you guys continue walking, and eventually you make your way up to this massive 30-foot high stone wall, this crenulated wall with these covered walkways. There is a large scout tower that looks over the large stone cobbled walk that comes up from the wharf district. There are carts that are being pulled by mules and horses that go past you, threatening to maybe even knock you over at times. There's quite a bit of traffic on this road, both pedestrian and wagon traffic as well. There is as I said, this tower looking out. It's about 60 stories tall, or 60 feet tall, 6 stories roughly. And you can see on the wall that there are archers sort of patrolling back and forth. There are at the gate, as you look ahead, Desmond, you're sort of scoping as you might the perimeter and some of the defenses that are on command. And you can see that there are a couple of foot soldiers. There are 6 dogs. Some of them are kenneled. Some of them are patrolling with their handlers. The drawbridge is down, and there are guards questioning most of the people on foot. As you look ahead, you can definitely see that you're going to be engaging with some of the guards in just a couple of minutes if you continue forward. Beyond the front of the drawbridge, there's a portcullis that is currently raised. Some reinforced wooden doors, reinforced with iron banding, that are swung open currently. And then beyond that, there's another set of doors that's open that are made of iron. And as you look around, Xanthi, you get the sense that this place is designed as a fortress. It's very well defended. You look around, and you can see that there are numerous agents of the crown that are actively engaged in watching people as they enter and leave the city.
Do we need papers to be here?
I don't think so. I mean, they open it up during the day.
All right. Well, have you ever seen the library?
Hey, thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it.
I know where it is, but they didn't. For a long time, they wouldn't let me in there.
Well,
What kind of a place are you looking for, Xanthi? Exactly. Like what are you trying to? What's your hope here?
we need
What's
to
up, Kyle?
find
Thank you.
research information on a number of topics, like what the Eye of Twilight is, what star children are, changelings or gold-skinned people would be nice to know. How to stop someone scrying on you would be another topic. Just information like that. So I was thinking like some kind of Institute of Learning or library or scholars.
Yeah. So as you are having this conversation with Desmond, you would know that there is a high-end establishment that you've never been to. This isn't like going to a bookstore to get your morning newspaper and, a pack of smokes. This is like probably some very obscure information that Xanthi is trying to find out. So you would probably attempt to get into a place called Kalandra's Repository of Obscure and Esoteric Knowledge. And it's a fairly well-known place. And it is open to the public, kind of. You kind of have to, have some very specific reasons for being there to be let in. But it's definitely a possibility and likely to be, one of the places that you could get into that might have this kind of information. There's also the Royal Athenaeum, which is within the castle itself, Castle Greyfist, but there's no way that you're going to be able to get in there. It just won't happen. So that would be the place that you'd probably recommend.
Okay.
As a starting point.
He'll pass all that on.
And you likely would have also passed on information to your companions so that they're not going in blind to the city, that a place to look for supplies would be Nib's Imports. It's run by a halfling fella named Nib. You've been in there before. It's a massive establishment with all kinds of stuff. And occasionally they have magical items. There's also a jeweler, Makor's merchant house that might be a place to sell some of the gems potentially. So you would have shared all that information with your companions to get them started on the right foot. So while you guys are making your way up to the guardhouse, let's jump over to Alrin and Nori. As you leave the Silver Lyre Inn, you see the young town crier-like fellow running past with his box. And you breathe in the fresh air of the river. What would you like? You're going to make your way up to the gates, I imagine, similar to the others, or do you want to do anything else before going into the city?
I'm ready if you are. Do you need to, poof up or anything, get pretty?
I pressed the digitation to make my armor shinier than usual today to, reflect any light coming from the sky. I'll, the same for you to,
Thanks. Yeah, I got some blood. I don't know if, you notice this
I'll
blood back
clean
here.
that up. I'll make us look like proper adventurers. Walk chest out, like I'm important.
Mm-hmm. You are important.
Hair
Don't let anyone
blowing,
tell you otherwise, Alrin.
hair blowing just a little bit more than normal.
Do you think you could make my eyebrows blow a little bit?
I can.
Let's just get the whole thing happening.
You said your eyebrows?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Sure. Okay, sure.
Okay, thanks.
All right, once your eyebrows are in order, we'll move this along. You guys make your way up to the gates as well. Eventually, the four of you at different times pass by. You're asked for your business in the town. You get the sense that they're fishing for something, although it's not clear what. They ask you for your names, what your business is, why you're here. Just some real basic questions that are not hard to answer truthfully. But you do get the sense that they are watching. There are people up on the parapet that are looking down upon the crowds that's entering and leaving. And every once in a while, you see the guards kind of look back for some sort of a sign of some kind. You can tell that there's some communication going on. But eventually, you all are able to enter into the city, and you find it very much a very clean scene inside. There are people going about their business. They are friendly, but not overly welcoming. They don't pay a whole lot of attention to any of you. Desmond, you look around and it doesn't look much different than when you left it. You've spent a considerable amount of time within the city walls, although it's not where you typically would spend most of your time, just because it's hard to leave if something goes amiss. There are a lot of eyes watching, you get the sense, especially with the sort of frosty entrance that you, or the frosty welcome that you get from the entering into the city itself. So I guess we'll go to we'll go on a research trip first to Calandra's repository of obscure and esoteric knowledge. You guys walk across town. It takes you maybe 20 minutes or more to get there. There are all kinds of like little town or like square markets, little vendor areas that you pass through, little burgs, if you will. There is a variety of mixture of sort of elven architecture interwoven with hints of gnomish design. Some of the architecture is certainly of a more recent human kind of influence, but a lot of the elven vibe still permeates the scene. There are these large trellises that connect some of the elven designed buildings, and you can every once in a while you see someone deftly tiptoeing across these connecting bridges that look very treacherous, but they almost look like trees in some sense, these homes that are built in this elven design. And there are, amongst the city streets and the cobblestone, there are gardens that have been tended, although it's late in the season, so many of the flowers and plants have been trimmed back. A lot of the trees have lost their leaves, but there's a sense of the forest being brought into, having the nature brought into the city itself, which really harkens back to that sort of elvish influence of this place. There are some very old trees that are planted at various locations. You can see that there's a rise in the middle of the city, and there's a very stout looking castle that's set upon it, Castle Greyfist. And there are a variety of other small estates that look to be quite opulent. And so it's a fair mixture. There's not a lot of obvious sort of tenements or slums in the areas that you're walking through. You're walking through some of the main streets, which seem to be kept pretty well. But Desmond, you know that along the walls, the edges of the city, some of the darker neighborhoods, some of the poorer neighborhoods, that there's a fair amount of things that go on, even though underneath the eye of the Viscount, that are perhaps less lawful in nature. Certainly there's a fair amount of criminal activity in this town. It just seems to be very well hidden from the tourists that might walk through town, like you guys are getting sort of that vibe. But you make your way to this stone block, 3-story tower. And you've seen it before, Desmond. You've never been inside, but this is Calandra's repository, and it is run by this woman named Calandra Pasquinelli. And the story behind it is that she receives endowment money from some of the wealthier families in Verbobonc to maintain this large library. And the first floor of this library, as you walk in, is a generally open to the public space. It has kind of your basic history books. It has books on local lore. It has books, it has maps, and it has, general sort of interest books. Some poetry and some fiction and that sort of thing. It has a fair amount of like community artwork and that kind of thing. And they'll hold programs here, educational programs and that kind of thing. She's very much a kind of a philanthropist in her own right. And her mission is to really catalog and collect information and make it available to to anyone, really. But they don't really abide by any sort of shenanigans inside the space. And so there are a couple of vigil wardens that are stationed at the entrance, and Calandra also has her own private security that is probably financed by one of the families that provide her with her funding to keep this place going. Now there's more stories above the main story that no one goes into. So nobody knows what's in the tower above. Most people only have access to the main floor. I mean, you can imagine that's where she has her living space and possibly some other maybe higher value items. But you walk in and you see, I don't know, a dozen or more people browsing amongst the stacks. There is a reception area at the front where there is a human woman, kind of sitting there with some spectacles on, and you have entered the space. What would you like to do?
Xanthi would like to try to go up to the librarian. If she can get her attention.
Yeah, not hard. As you step forward and approach, she seems as though she's anticipating your arrival, and she looks up from a book that she's reading, and she sets it down and takes her glasses off. They're held on a little chain around her neck that has like some jade stones in it, and it just kind of hangs on her chest as she looks at you and smiles. She's got this this long gray hair, and she's got, as you get closer, you notice that she's got some beautiful green, very brilliant green and red flowers in her hair with little sprigs of yellow. And she just looks at you and says, well, welcome to the repository. And how may I help you? What is it that you're looking for?
I am looking for some really obscure, weird stuff.
Well, you've come to the right place. This is, after all, Kalanda's repository of obscure and esoteric knowledge, my dear.
All right. See, I'm going to see if I can stump you. All right. Have you ever heard of a star child?
A star child? Well, not to my memory, but we do have a variety of books on astrology, if that's something that you're interested in.
Well, I mean, maybe people of the stars?
People of the stars. Well, we do have some books on the teachings of Celestian, the Far Wanderer, if that is what you're speaking of. There are the people of the stars who worship and practice the faith of Celestian, if that's what you mean, dear.
Sure, we can start there.
Well, let me show you what we have in the collection. Follow me.
Okay.
Desmond, while she's leading Xanthi, what are you doing?
He's just kind of like looking around. He's kind of following Xanthi's lead because he's never been in here. He doesn't really know what's going on, but or how much to say about what they're looking for. So he's just kind of looking around and seeing what catches his eye.
Okay. All right. Yeah, give me a perception check, please. So Xanthi, she leads you back to sort of the far back corner of this big space, and you can kind of hear only the muffled sound of people's voices from the front entrance and from the front common area where people are conversing and reading and investigating whatever it might be that they're interested in. But you go back behind these stacks, kind of winding your way through this sort of labyrinthine library, these tall stacks, oftentimes looking up like, how would you even get a book way up there? You can see that in some cases there are these rolling tracked ladders that can be swung around to access some of the things that are out of reach. And she keeps bringing you farther and farther back. And at some point you're like, it's hard to even fathom how deep this goes. It didn't look like that big of a building, but eventually you come to this area and it's quiet, very, very quiet. And she looks up and down and she looks for a minute and she puts her finger up on the books, and you can see as she's running her finger across, she kind of takes it down. She says, oh, it's a bit dusty here. I apologize for that. And then she looks and she grabs a book and she pulls it out, and it is a book of constellations. And she says, I don't know if this is what you're looking for. This might have some background on some of the constellations, but this whole section here is, well, I would start here, dear. And if you need additional help, come and find me. My name is Calandra. It's a pleasure to meet you. Your name is?
Oh, Xanthi.
Very nice to meet you, Xanthi. And yours, sir?
Des.
Des. Well, good luck. If you need help, just come and find me, or one of the other librarians would be happy to help you. Yes, do you have a question?
No, you said Celestian, not constellations, right?
Well, we have all sorts of astrological information here in this section, including, let's see, right here. And she pulls down a book, and it has sort of like the dogma of Celestian. It looks like it's some sort of a rather scholarly treatise on some of the deities of Greyhawk, kind of stuffy, a lot of pontificating about the origins of the religion and sort of how it's founded in this idea of travel amongst the stars. It goes into all kinds of detail, but as you look up, and you can see the whole section has different books on astrology and astronomy, on omens and harbingers and sort of the connection between the seasons and the planet and all kinds of interesting things. It's not my specialty, I'm afraid, but certainly if you're looking for some sort of information, if we don't have it here, my dear, it probably doesn't exist.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, among all of these Celestian people, you know, that worship Celestian, have you heard of people with golden skin?
I'm afraid not, dear, but again, I'm not well versed in the stories and lore surrounding Celestian. I apologize for that. But and sadly, there's no temple to the god here in town. But I do think that there's one in the free city of Greyhawk. But that's quite a long ways from here. But if you're looking to speak with someone who's actually an adherent of the faith, that might be the next best thing to this amazing collection of information that we have right here in the repository of obscure and esoteric knowledge.
This will take a while, but you said someone is here in this city?
Oh, no, not to my knowledge, no.
No. All right. Well, thank you. Des, do you want to look up something else while I am
Yeah, I mean,
reading
is it all right if
this?
is it all right if we just kind of look around and kind of, you know, check things out on our own?
Of course, the only rules here is that you put things back where you found them and you don't take anything out. Of course, we'll know if you do. And that could end you up in some very big trouble, but you don't look like the types that would do something like that.
No.
No.
How are things
totally
organized?
rule
Like,
following.
is everything in some kind of order or
Oh, yes,
certain sections?
I know where most things are. It's divided into, it's divided into different subject matter, and then within a subject matter, it's divided into alphabetically by author's last name. There was a young gnome who has proposed something. I believe his name is Dewey, but he's proposed some sort of a system to catalog the items within the archives. But he seems to want to charge quite a bit for this decimal system idea. But you never know.
Sounds interesting. Okay, thank you.
You're quite welcome. Good luck. It's sometimes, my dear, it's best to just pick a book off the shelf randomly and start reading. Well, good luck. And she smiles and hustles off back to the front of the building.
All right. It looks like I got a lot of stuff to read.
I mean, I could have told her about the Eye of Twilight, but then, like, maybe we're not supposed to talk about it. And then we don't even know what it is. So
It's true. I mean, like, do you think that this is alphabetical? Like, would there be a book, Eye of Twilight?
I mean, maybe. There's lots of books in here, though.
Oh, yeah, there's thousands of books here.
Well, you know, like, maybe it's magic. Maybe if you walk around and you think about it, and, like, you, hold out your hand as you walk by the bookshelves, like, something will stop you.
Suppose it's worth a shot.
Okay, I'll be here reading about constellations.
Yeah, Des will walk around and look for books that say Eye or Twilight on them.
Okay. All
or
right.
a combination of the two.
Sure. And you, I'm sure at some point you find something, but it doesn't seem to give you much information at a quick glance. Xanthi, give me an investigation check.
Okay. $21.
Okay. You're looking at this book about the constellations and you're like, this is not what I'm looking for. And you slide it back up into the space that it came from. And as you push it in, there's like this puff of dust that comes back into your face. And you kind of like clear it out, cough a little bit. and you kind of rub your eyes. You got a little bit in your eyes. They're kind of itchy. And then you open your eyes, clear them out, and you look ahead and you see this book, The Chronicles of the Celestial Realms. That looks interesting. It has this beautiful spine. It's of course bound in leather. It's this beautiful brown spine that has these different like stars and they're like hand painted on the spine of this book, and it says in this really nice calligraphy, The Chronicles of the Celestial Realms.
Well, hands painted, that means it's good stuff.
Well, to be fair, most of them are, but this one is really beautiful. And you pull it off the bookshelf and you open it up, and it kind of like creaks as you open it, like not like a new book, but like a book that's where the jacket is kind of like shrunk a little bit because it hasn't been read in so long. You just kind of like peel it open, and it just kind of cracks a little bit as you open it. And you can see that on the front page, it describes how this book is. Documents the ancient annals of the world, whispered through. It has this certain phrase, whispered through the celestial tapestry that binds the stars. And you can see that it has to do with the far wanderer Celestian, and documents some of the travels, some of the stories of Celestian's travels. And you are almost immediately like pulled into the first story as it goes into this story of these worshippers of Celestian who have been said to be able to walk through the stars or walk amongst the stars, travel through the heavens. And you start to continue to read, and we'll come back to you in just a minute. Meanwhile, we've got Nori and Alrin, and you guys are heading to Nibs, or where are you going to go? You've got the Makor's merchant house, which is where Desmond said you could maybe do some trading of gems. And then you've also got Nibs supplies. Nibs imports. That's what it is.
Should go to the jeweler first so we can sell the gems.
Pawn off some gems, switch some gems, get some money to buy stuff at Nibs. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay. You guys go to Makor's. Go ahead. Yes. Sorry.
There's a flaw in the plan, though. You know how Xanthi said we should think of the item in the bag and not reach in? I don't know what's in there.
Well, we know there are 2 sapphires, a pearl, an emerald, an azurite, a bloodstone, and a diamond.
What if there's more than that, though?
So if there's more gems than that, we could use that to buy potions. They're as good as gold. It's just if we can get those switched over to 300 in gold, or 300 gold's worth of diamonds, that would be helpful. Use the others to buy potions. I mean, if you think expensive gem and reach in and it's there, we can buy potions with that if it works out. I think that's probably how the math will work.
To Melkor's.
Let's not deal with the doll. I don't want to know anything about that, to be honest.
I'm going to do my best not to think about it. We'll see how that goes.
I love it.
Of course, as a bard, I assume there's a tail, so I'm like, maybe I do want the doll. But no.
Yes, you do.
For another day.
I think there's a knife in there, too. So, that combo.
No, I don't want the doll coming out with a knife. That seems horrible.
Yeah, wait till the knife comes out wielding the doll. That's when things get really dark. All right, so you guys go to Makor's merchant house, and you've got we'll kind of speed this along so you guys can get this done. You guys are going to trade in some of the gems that you have, and you're going to trade that in specifically for gold, right? Do you know how valuable the gems are that you have?
I mean, I would assume that if a place has magic items like potions, they would take gems as payment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can pay in gems.
We don't
Absolutely.
need to get gold for the gems, but we do need to see if they have diamonds here that we can trade gems for.
Okay. And, which they certainly do. So what are you looking for? What are you going to trade, and what are you trying to get in return?
So if we could trade in, I mean, if there's a fee, there's a fee. That's how business works. But if we can get, because we have 150 gold diamond already, if we can get 250 gold more of diamonds for whatever in gems, that would be great.
And I mean, do you guys know how much you have in gems? I don't keep track of how much you have, so that would be on you guys to know.
I see a lot of items in here that just say a sapphire.
I mean, I see that we have 6 other gems that are worth 50 gold on the list of things that we had just got.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of jewelry in there, just like silver, random jewelry, like little trinkety, like rings and
Crystal
pendants
goblets.
and yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so you're looking to get a 250 gold value diamond, is that correct?
And perhaps buy another 300 gold diamond if we could as well. It wouldn't hurt having 2.
Or in increments up to 300.
Yeah.
Because we got to,
Basically, if we can trade, barter, buy 550 gold of diamonds.
Got it. Okay. Yep, there's definitely a commission. So for 650 gold's value of gems or gold, you'll be able to get 550 values in diamonds. They would have that there. And as you go through this, so go ahead and make sure that you guys take care of marking that off your inventory. As you're at this location, it is extremely large, and this place looks to be very prosperous. It's they boast to you that they're the largest merchant house in the city. They specialize in ores, metals, and precious stones. Many of the stones and the copper that they've work and refine here, and then package and sell, comes from the Cron Hills. And of course, Nori, you would know that that's likely or originating in the mines that the gnomes work in the Cron Hills. So there's a connection here. Some of the workers themselves are gnomish, and they, they're very knowledgeable, these gnomish merchants. And they do boast that these are some of the finest gems that you'll find, because of the supply out of the Cron Hills is so pure. Just really, really good mining there. So with that, you're able to get the diamonds that you sought for a price, and you head on to Nibs, I imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. So Nibs is a relatively benign looking establishment on the outside. However, as you push open the heavy wooden doors, you immediately see this whirlwind of sights and sounds. And speaking of sounds, I'm going to ditch the wharf. Okay. The air is thick with the mingling of aromas of exotic spices, fragrant oils, faint hint of aged parchments. It's a spacious interior, kind of like a warehouse, a big open space, but it's cluttered with an eclectic array of goods from distant lands. There are a number of what appear to be employees. They have aprons on, bustling about the space, most of them human, a couple of gnomes. Very busy. They're too busy to really take a whole lot of notice of you, although they do give you a smile and a nod. They aren't overly friendly or try to sort of interrupt your browsing. But there are other patrons as well browsing about the aisles. The aisles are narrow and winding. There's these towering shelves with overflowing treasures from all across the Flyness. There's colorful tapestries that are hanging from the ceiling, intricate designs catching the light, vibrant patterns on the polished floorboards, beautiful woodwork inside it. This also seems like a very prosperous business. There are a jumble of silks and ceramics and all sorts of curiosities about. Amidst all of this bustling, the customers, the employees, you see one figure that kind of stands out. Hold on one second. There's a figure that stands out, which is kind of ironic because he's very small. He is a male halfling, appears to be in charge, whispered tones, talking with some of the aproned workers that then bustle off. He's whistles people over, they come over, he has talked to them. You can see him sort of walking around pointing at different things. He's got a small parchment and a quill where he's like, it looks like he's doing some sort of an inventory maybe, or marking down tallies. He seems very naturally charismatic with his employees, and he stops at times to talk with some of the customers, giving them some advice and help. And his eyes are kind of darting around, and he sees the two of you, and he kind of folds his parchment and kind of tucks it in inside of his little vest jacket, and he strides over towards you, and he says, welcome to Nib's Imports. I'm Nib, at your service. And you get this sort of sense of confidence but warmth. Step right up and behold the wonders of the world. Whatever you seek, Nib's Imports has it all, possibly more. How can I help you two? You look like you're in need of something. I can see it on the looks on your faces. You've come to the right spot. Now tell Nib, what is it?
We have actually some items maybe that you might be interested in. But we are also interested in things. What would you like to look at first or talk about first?
Well, as they say, the customer is always right. Why don't you tell me what it is you'd like, and we'll see if we have it here.
Okay. Well, we are looking for something that might make it difficult for other people to hear us. You know, magical people that aren't by us to still hear us.
That's an interesting inquiry.
Like that. You know, we're private people. Of course. There's no secrets or anything like that. We just
not my worry and none of my business. My business is finding things that fit your needs. Now let me think. Something that would perhaps keep your conversations, totally above board conversations, of course, totally a secret from those who might be trying to listen in magically. Perhaps some sort of arcane scrying of some sorts. Yes, I've heard of such things. There are, let me think. I think I might have something. I'll have to inquire with one of my managers, and we'll see if we have something for you. There is something that we've had in stock before. They're very hard to come by, but they do tend to allow for at least one individual to, protect their thoughts, as it were, from those who might seek to learn things about them. I can maybe look into that. Let me write this down. Yes, and what else is it that you might need? He pulls the parchment back out.
We would be looking for potions that might heal us.
Okay, yes. We have a couple of those on hand, healing potions, yes.
Request. We do have a couple of things, and I will think about the crystal goblets. Yes, I don't know how this works if they just come out into my hand. We're looking actually to unload some things.
Well, set the items here. Follow me, and he takes you over to a large table. And it looks like that's exactly what these are for. These are tables where people can sort of set up their goods or pile things that they're going to buy. But basically, it's kind of like an Antiques Roadshow situation where he's like, just set out what it is that you'd like to part with, and I'll have one of my merchants, one of my specialists come by and do an appraisal on them.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. We just wait here then, while you go find out about that anti-scrying thing.
Yes, indeed. Unload the things here, and I'll send over one of my workers. Okay. Good.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. So he hustles off. And what are you going to put out on the table?
Well, I have quite a few things actually that I will bring out and put on the table. They don't all have prices with them. Listed in our loot bag, but 4 crystal goblets, a wall sconce, wooden inlaid box, valuable, I think it says on here too. a dagger, take it away from the doll, candlestick, and we've got tons of silver jewelry.
There's a jeweled silver dagger, which is not magic. There's a brass candlestick. There's just like lots of little silver jewelry, like or gemstoned jewelry.
So just kind of like dumping the haversack out and all these.
Not dumping it out, no, because then that doll might come out.
Right, or you might break the crystal goblets.
Yeah, we have fragile valuables,
Which
in
has
here, so
happened
being
before.
very delicate with it. Also, I mean, the doll and the knife might come out together, so that's a no.
The more times you say
We'll
the
bring it all
doll, the more likely it is to appear.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, so you set out these items, and as Nib mentioned, one of his employees comes over and nods to you and begins kind of looking at things. They've got a little monocle, sort of magnifier, and when they put up to their eye looks really huge, and they're sort of like looking at the items one by one and making notes in their little notebook as they're sort of like evaluating the value of these things. And it takes some time. You know, it takes a, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes or so for them to look through these things and come up with an estimate of what they might be willing to offer you. Meanwhile, Nib returns and he looks at you and he's got a smile on his face and he says, "Well, it looks like I've got a bit more than I thought I did. So I've got 5 potions of healing in the back. There is one more powerful potion of healing that's available, but it is quite expensive. I'm not sure what your budget is."
Well, how much are we talking here?
Well, the potion of superior healing is 750 gold.
Okay. The other ones are how
Quite
much?
potent, but quite expensive.
We've got deep pockets. We were on a strong business.
Very well, then
Hence
I will mention the rest of the items then. I was a bit hesitant. I didn't know what your budget might be, but we have as I said, 5 potions of healing. Those will sell for 60 gold apiece. Interestingly enough, I have 2 scrolls available. One of them, Scroll of Gust, which I would pot with for 100 gold pieces, and a Scroll of Magic Weapon that I would pot with for 380 gold. And I did find 2 rings that you might be interested in. The first, a ring of water walking, 420 gold pieces for that. And the one that you're probably most interested in, quite a good find, and I'm surprised that we still have it, to be quite honest with you. It is a ring of mind shielding. It is quite expensive, 650 gold pieces for that. And while it will not inhibit all forms of surveillance, it will protect the wearer from, well, how shall we say, a probing of the mind.
What do you think, Alrin?
Well, our recent business adventures have had troubles with outsiders trying to eavesdrop and, get the secrets of our business and infiltrate us. And that's not acceptable.
Of course. It's horrible, horrible.
These items, I think are a good purchase. I think they're a good deal.
As do I.
Now,
price to sell.
What are we looking at? I mean, obviously we have coin to supplement the, these items that we have, that we've acquired. What's the price for those that we would need to add to?
Well, let me confer with my appraiser, and I will get back to you. And he and the human appraiser sort of walk off to the side and leaves the 2 of you to kind of stand there and think about the items that have been offered. And Dave has no idea what the value of those things are. I don't have the list of your items in front of you, so that would be something that we probably would work out later off stream so that we don't bore people with coming up with values for all these things, which I'm sure that I have somewhere in my notes if you don't have them. So we can do that offline, but probably should have done that last week, but nevertheless, we can do that offline.
I mean, just as a simple, mathematics, we made 1,200 on our last quest. So that plus selling some stuff and some coin we have more than covers the stuff that he had talked about.
Are you wanting to purchase all of that?
No.
Yes. Why not?
Why? All of it? I mean,
Well, I mean,
we definitely want the healing potions.
yeah,
the healing
potions.
The smaller ones.
The ring of mind shielding, and then we've made
Seems
money on our
important.
previous quest. What would be the harm in having some things to help us against the guy that is trying to blackmail us? That we
So
need to kill?
the total for all of the things that he has available that he listed would be 2,600.
I don't think we have that much.
I don't either.
Do we?
We would be close. So we have
Yeah, I don't think
1,200 and
need
we
the
got
scrolls.
550 for the diamonds just now, or the gems just now, right? Is it 550? That's okay. I don't think that we need the scroll of magic for magic weapon. I think all of us kind of have that covered. I know you do, Alrin.
Sure.
Scroll of gust. I mean, you can blow your hair like crazy. We don't need that, right? I like the rings, definitely. I like the potions. We should get the potions, all of them, if we can. I mean, something could happen. We might need that big one.
Okay, so if you're gonna go with all 6 of those potions, the 5 common, or the healing potions plus the superior, and then you said both rings or just the one ring?
Both.
Yeah.
Water
Okay.
walking is going to be dope and totally necessary.
Okay, so that total would be 2,120. So you, with the 1,200 that you guys got from Burn for that last job, plus what we'll figure out later, you should have, I would think, enough to cover it. And
I
we
feel
can
like we do.
can verify that, this week later after we're done
But
streaming.
we are going to be broke after this,
Yeah.
you guys.
Caca, this is all the money we have. Come
Yes.
on.
Already. Stop.
You guys aren't there.
Don't
I
send
know,
the
but
news.
With the bag of stuff.
You cannot
I don't
give
think
the
that bird
you
is
can't give the
like-
responsibility to people and then micromanage. That's never no one
Yeah.
ever
Yeah,
likes that.
I didn't know
I
what was
know
in the
to know
bag.
that this is it. Like,
I don't
I
know
know
the
that-
value of $1 of a gold.
That's fair.
I don't
Alright,
usually have this
does.
kind of cash on me. We're
You don't
spending it.
anymore, but you've got some items. So you wrap up the transaction. Okay, and we'll settle up with the list of stuff that you sold later. You now have those items. At this point, let's jump back over to Calandra's repository of obscure and esoteric knowledge. Xanthi, what was your investigation roll?
Oh gosh. It was 21.
So you start paging through this book, the Chronicles of the Celestial Realms. And it's actually a very well written, kind of a fun read. It's written in a narrative form. And you read passages like, celestial travelers born of the heart of distant constellations are said to grace our humble earth with their presence at the behest of the far wanderer himself. Legends speak of their fleeting visits, their purpose veiled in the mysteries of the cosmos, yet their influence profound upon the lands they touch. These ethereal and elusive beings are most oft referred to as the children of light. In their celestial grace, the children of light possess a remarkable ability to shift their very essence, seamlessly adopting the guise of the races they encounter. Through this transformative power, they walk amongst us here on Earth undetected, their true nature veiled behind the masks of humanity, elven kind, and other earthly forms. Legends whispered in the shadows tell of cities. This is like a different section that you page forward as you're like, holy shit, holy shit. Legends whispered in the shadows tell of cities consumed by fear and paranoia, their streets awash with the flames of hysteria and desperate rulers, driven by misguided zeal, purge their populations in a futile quest to unmask the elusive children of light. Such tragedies serve as cautionary tales, reminders of the dangers wrought by ignorance and the tyranny of fear. And then there you start to sweat a little bit and you page forward a little bit more. Amidst the chaos and devastation wrought by those who view them as harbingers of doom, the children of light endure, their luminous presence a beacon of hope among the darkness of suspicion and persecution. Though their origins remain shrouded in mystery, their intentions remain steadfastly benign, offering solace to those who dare to look beyond the veil of prejudice. And then there's a final passage. It is said to encounter one of the children of light is to witness a glimpse of the divine, a fleeting manifestation of celestial grace in mortal flesh. Whether they come as messengers, observers, or simply wanderers in search of understanding, their very existence serves as a reminder of the boundless wonders that lie beyond the confines of our earthly realm. And then there's a bunch of stuff about that you learn about the followers of Celestian, and sort of some of their religious beliefs, some of their religious ceremonial type of activities, that kind of thing. And it's probably at this point, as you've kind of paged through and spent a little bit of time, it's probably about an hour or so later. And this book has given you certainly some insights and possibly could be a great resource if you had more time. But alas, there's not a lot of time. And at this point, Desmond, having sort of wandered the stacks looking for some information about this Eye of Twilight coming up empty, returns to where you are.
How's it going? Did you find anything?
Yeah, I did. Oh man, some people are real obsessed with these things.
What? Well,
Like, I mean, there's all this flowery talk about like divinity and like, gift from God and all this stuff. Like, I think I need to like talk to somebody at the Celestian Temple in the Free City of Greyhawk, which seems to be the only place where they actually have like a knowledgeable scholar on this stuff. But I don't think we should spread it around, because people are really like, they get so paranoid and crazy. Like, there was a whole section about like genocide. Like, they're just killing
Genocide.
people randomly because they're afraid.
huh. Well, who wrote that book? Oh, that's pretty old.
Who wrote them to it? Does it matter? Is there an author listed that we care? You're muted.
Yeah, there's definitely an author listed. And it is some name that's very hard to pronounce. Elven, most likely.
Mm.
I mean, like, this is an old book. I mean, they're probably not around anymore.
As you slide the book back up into the stack, Xanthi, you look and you can see that the book right next to it is written by the same author.
Oh, what is that one?
It doesn't have any sort of title on it. It's just a tome. It's a thinner tome, leather bound. You pull it out and open it up and look at it, and it has what appears to be some sort of account of a temple to Celestian. And it's more of like a journal of this individual who wrote it. And it talks of a place called Starhaven, a temple outside the village of Thrunch, which is in, you look at it, there's even like a little rudimentary map on the inside cover. It looks to be south of the Kron Hills, a decent ways south in the Principality of Ulick. And actually, I can bring up I'll bring up Anna's map here and show people what I'm talking about. This is in the Lort Mill. It's in the foothills of the Lort Mill Mountains. Here we go. All right, so if we go first of all, where we're at right now is right here, Verbobonc, right in the middle of the map. And if we go almost due south through the fairy kingdom of Selene, we get to the Lort Mills and the Principality of Ulick. Okay. And right here is the village of Thrunch. And apparently there is a temple there called the Starhaven. So quite a ways from where you guys are. You guys are right up here, and it's down here.
And that's far away.
I mean, for sort of perspective, the Free City of Greyhawk is up here. So there's that distance, but this is also traversing a mountain range. 2 mountain ranges, really. The Cron Hills and then the Lort Mills, plus the fairy kingdom of Selene. Could be a grand adventure, but it is a long ways away.
I don't think we're taking this trip anytime soon.
So his time at the Starhaven Temple is there anything like notable that happens there? Like,
Oh, yes, there's an observatory, some sort of a device that they use to gaze upon the stars. A powerful arcane device that is built of gnomish ingenuity.
okay.
Okay, looking at the stars.
Is there anything else, or should I?
Yeah, no, not really. That's about it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, Des, did you find anything?
No, not really. Do you think it is like some kind of gem or something? Because maybe if we find a book on gems, it'll be in there, like famous gems.
Yeah, like, or, I mean, you could ask the librarian. Do you want me
I
to
guess-
ask the librarian?
Might as well.
Okay.
And Xanthi will go over to the librarian, and she will go.
So, my friend, that's me, that, he heard of this thing called the Eye of Twilight, and he says that it's a gem. And I said that it was a constellation. Do you have anything on that so we could settle our bets?
Constellations, I mean, I could bring you back to where you were and you could
I
keep
didn't
looking.
find anything in there. I mean,
I'm
have you
afraid
heard
I
of it?
don't know what that is.
Okay, we don't know either.
It's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Really is. We have no information.
What is the name of it again? I could write it down and ask around if you'd like.
Nah, that's all right. I don't know how long we're gonna be here, so, asking around, then we might not come back. So, I guess we'll continue on our search.
Very well. Well, I'm glad that we could be of service here at the Repository of Obscure and Esoteric Knowledge. Please come back anytime. Donations are welcome if you're willing to leave a bit of a donation to help with the upkeep and such. That would be wonderful. There's a donation box on the way out.
Oh, absolutely.
Good day.
Xanthi will drop a couple of silver in the box as they leave.
Right. As you guys head back out, you see a young boy run up with the box. He throws the box down and he hops up on it and he shouts, "News from the Abbey! Mysterious attack last week, 2 weeks ago. Still under investigation by the Vigil Wardens. Some of the Abbey guards. Funerals being held for those deceased. Murderers still at large. Attention, merchants! Poor growing season and a shortage of grain has led to rising prices in the marketplace. Stock up while you can. And then he jumps back down off of his box and gathers it up and runs off.
Where? I've always wondered where they get their news.
I don't know. Like, where does one hear about murders?
I suppose the guards, maybe?
Maybe. Or maybe they have listening devices. Hey, little kid!
He just kind of looks back while he's running, and then he keeps running.
I have a question!
He just kind of disappears into the group, the crowds of people that are walking around.
Off to his
Go
next
fast.
announcement, I guess.
Next time.
Yeah.
So
All
for the
right,
sake
well-
of the narrative, I'm just going to say that you guys had picked out a place to rendezvous inside the city gates because it is still, mid-morning at this point. You guys kind of come together at one of the large fountains that was easy to find in the city center. You can see, a couple blocks away, the looming Castle Greyfist, and it's a good sort of landmark that you would all be able to easily find. And as Desmond and Xanthi walk up, you see Nori and Alrin sitting by the fountain, eating some fresh muffins that they purchased off of a vendor. There's a beautiful sugary glaze on top of the muffin. Alrin's fingers are all sticky, and he's got like glaze on his face as he's mowing down this roll. And as you're walking up, Desmond, give me an insight check.
I am rolling horribly. 9.
Okay. All right. So you guys all walk up, you regroup, and this is where we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll find out what you guys want to do next in the wonderful city of Verbobonc. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. We appreciate you all for being here, and we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, like I said, we'll dive into the second half of this. Stick around. I think we have a bit of a teaser queued up for you. If you haven't been following the Tales from the Whisperwood foreshot, you should definitely go over to our YouTube page and catch up on that. It's a 4-parter, and we're going to be jumping into the finale on Saturday. It's been absolutely fantastic. Big shout out to our good friend Shiv for bringing that one to the channel. It's been really, really fun. We will show a little teaser for that on the break, and then we will be back to have some more Greyhawk fun. We'll see you in just a couple minutes. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Knock, knock, knock. The hollow man calls. Swing, swing, swing. His greedy sickle falls. Chop, chop, chop. He takes another head. Burn, burn, burn. The hollow man is dead. Hello, friends. Gather round as I tell you about the Tales from the Whisperwood, a 4-part Dungeons and Dragons story here on Guild Superior. Now, what's the Whisperwoods, you ask? It's a place of mystery and peril, where something sinister lurks in the shadows, thirsting for vengeance. But beware how you treat those beyond the forest edge, while the Hollow Man is always watching. So as you are stealthily, we'll put air quotes on that, get into Costa's farmstead, you see through the door, his wife is unconscious on the floor, and as you look down in the doorway, a pool of blood under his body, and you realize that his head is missing.
I think I found out what that thing took.
Come by this Saturday, enjoy the adventure. I'll see you there. Get ready.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. New friends, old friends, people who are watching us in the future. Welcome to the Superior Adventurers Guild. We're playing Heroes of Greyhawk, and we've got an awesome group of people here at the table and an awesome group of people in the chat. We've also got an awesome group of people who are giving us some loot to give away to y'all. And we've got some information coming into the chat right now. We've got a giveaway from our good long-term sponsor, CZ RPG. We're giving away a copy of their Amazing Encounters and Quests. And then we've also got some new loot from our friends at Trollor Games, 2 $10 coupons for their digital web store. So get in on that action. You might be a lucky winner tonight. I think it's your night. Tonight's your night. And you can't win if you're not in. So !Giant to get in on that, and hopefully you'll get some new loot to play with. So there you go. All right, so we're gonna jump back into this game. Our team of adventurers has recently gone about the city of Verbobonc, exploring some archives, doing some research, gathering some information about Celestian and the sort of teachings of that deity relative to something called the Children of Light, and hearkening to some connections to one of our characters, of course, Xanthi, I'm talking about, who's got some interesting things going on in their life that kind of sound like what she was reading about in some respects. So some information has been gained there. You did a bunch of bartering and sales, selling off some of the random assortment of loot that you had been. Hey, thank you so much for gifting the sub. Appreciate you for being here. Thanks a lot. Selling off a bunch of the loot that you've been carrying around from your various exploits, and buying some pretty high-powered items that will hopefully help you in the next leg of your journey. As you still find yourselves under the yoke of this new benefactor, the clock ticking on a lot of different levels, Desmond's brother's life hanging in the balance. I would say Nori's, the urgency from Nori's warlock patron probably weighing heavily on Nori in terms of the urgency to continue on their quest at the behest of their matron. Possibly some investigatory work for Alrin to sort of see if there's a connection that he can make between what happened to his parents and a contact that they had here in Verbobonc, perhaps a work trip that they had been on here. And at this point, you guys are at the fountain in the town center, as I said before. Alrin just licking the crusty donut glaze from his fingers. And my friends, what would you like to do with the rest of your day? It's probably mid to late morning at this point, so you have, quite a bit of day in front of you.
Okay, did you guys get us some healing potions?
We did. We got 5 regular ones, and we got a really big one too. It was really expensive too. We sold a lot of your stuff for it.
Oh, that's good. Did we get a good amount of money, do you think? Gold, I mean?
Yeah, good value.
Yeah, we did.
Good value.
Yeah, we really sweet talked a great deal. Also, we got something else to help us.
Okay. Is it cheese?
Nope.
I was wrong.
Okay. Oh, fancy. Does it block scrying?
It is a ring of mind shielding that one of us can wear. So we have to
sounds
sort
promising.
of decide which one of us we think is the target.
Do you think he's reading our minds?
Well,
But
you
then how
know.
does he have a recording?
So what you guys know about this ring from Nib, who sold it to you, is that the person who wears it, and you have to be attuned to the ring for it to be active, it will protect you from creatures that might read your thoughts. what, you know, if they're trying to determine whether you're aligned, maybe they want to know what your alignment is. They want to know what creature type you are. They can only communicate with you telepathically if you allow for it to happen. So you're shielded from unwanted telepathy. That doesn't mean they can't hear you speaking or see you necessarily, but they can't read your thoughts. You can cause the ring to become invisible so that it's not obvious to people that you have it. And you can make it visible if you want, whatever. The kicker that Nib told you about is that if you were to die while wearing the ring, your soul enters into it.
That was not mentioned.
And as long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature that wears it.
Oh my
so
God.
There's also a possibility that there's a soul inside the ring currently.
And they could communicate with you.
Well, geez, this sounds
While
like a
you're wearing
Des
it.
ring.
I mean, I do have experience in that regard. But I mean,
like you haven't had really good experiences with dead people talking to you.
yeah, but this could be a nice guy, a nice person. We don't even know who's in there, or if there's anyone in there.
Or if there's anyone. We also
If
got
there
this other
is
ring.
someone in there, like how do
Does
you
the
release
receipt list
them?
the prior
I mean,
owner?
is that like a
No, it
used
doesn't.
ring?
Say that again. Sorry.
I mean, like, how do you release their spirit? Like, is it a used ring? Like, did they tell us it was a used ring?
I think they can leave if they want to. Their spirit.
I think it's fair to say that we were told this. So we still think that it's going to be useful, considering everything that's going on.
Santi,
Just maybe don't die
You-
while you're wearing it. You know.
you might be able to use this to, you know, keep people from seeing your golden skin, right?
I mean,
Or reading your mind about
I
it.
guess reading my mind that's, you know, what I am.
It's okay. We'll think about it.
I don't want my soul to be trapped in a ring.
We'll make sure you don't die.
You don't know what's gonna happen to your soul anyway when you die.
Wait, Nora, you
What
can
if-
talk to ghosts, right? You should just like see if you can talk to it. Like,
It hasn't said anything to me
Huh?
on the way back.
have you asked it?
It doesn't usually work like that. But
I mean, how many possessed objects do you own?
well, it's never really an object. Well, I guess it I look at Des. I think about the
So far,
dagger.
there's been the dagger, that weird harp that's floating in the end, definitely possessed.
Well, the harp hasn't said a
Or
word.
liar,
to me.
whatever it
Hasn't
was.
said shit.
And now this ring. Ghost ring,
Well,
for sure.
Santi, if you're afraid of it, you don't have to wear it, but it seems like you're the right one for it. Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about it later, maybe.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't think she wants to wear it.
I don't think so either. There's this other ring we got. It's real pretty. It's
that one do?
water walking.
Hey,
I mean, that's. I think
That's
probably
helpful.
you know, you could wear it. It's pretty anyway. I mean, I don't know how much water we encounter ever, but it just seemed like
there hasn't been.
something to.
There are rivers.
Yeah.
We had a lot of rivers previously.
None of us
Somebody
have really
was-
come close to, drowning or anything. But I mean, who can say what's going to happen in the future? It was a good deal. So
Des
and
came
it's
back pretty wet last
sounds
time
pretty,
we
like
were
I
in
said.
that camp.
Very
I
useful.
think he was in the water.
in the water, yes, but
Oh yeah. I could have used that ring before, for sure.
would you have been able to? Okay. Do you want this ring? I mean,
I mean, sure, I'll hold on to it.
Probably it was your stuff that paid for it.
True.
Wait,
I stole a lot of that.
no. Like, this is our group stuff.
Recovered the loot. We recovered it.
I bet you have your own
From-
stash of stuff.
No, I share everything. Oh, maybe.
Really?
Might have a coin
Everything?
or two tucked away somewhere in my socks.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
It's a big pile
What
of
do-
socks.
what are we doing this afternoon?
Oh, all right. I think we should head to my part of town and try to find some of the dogs. I think if anyone, they'll at least be able to tell us what's going on around town. If they've ever heard of these or these people. I think
Did you
it'd
guys not
be a
learn
good start.
anything?
I mean, we found out some things about these folk.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
It was very what's the right word?
I don't know. It's floofy. I don't
Yeah.
know. It like
Luffy. It's a descriptive word.
Well, it's like
But-
when they talk about
yeah,
like
like when they
myths.
talk about celestial god things and like religious stuff.
I mean, it's a bit
like-
out there, really.
Yeah, it was. They
But,
kind of
you know-
mentioned people like me in the same breath as like children of a god who walk among the stars.
So, I mean, it might not be totally accurate, but we at least know that
It's gotta be blown up a little bit, like an
Unless-
exaggeration. Somebody really liked this Celestian person.
yeah.
No,
Well, people when they write a story, I mean, a lot of times they do that to make it interesting. That
Yeah,
could
exaggerate certain
keep the
parts
attention
of it.
of the reader,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
still,
because
that's
I really don't feel like I'm some kind of gift from a god or magical.
Well, the other
Worse.
parts matched, though, right?
I mean, the description of the people matched me.
Right.
You know, like that description, but then it was like, whoa, it's so like
You know what
Celestian, so
yeah, but
great.
I bet
Sorry
this-
if you're listening. I think you probably are great, but like it was a little woo woo.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the whoever wrote it didn't really know anyone like you in person, and just kind of like, like the legends say,
Yeah,
Kinda
it was
stuff.
kind of
Could be.
like
and then like
that.
over time it kind of gets watered down, and
But also there was
woo-woo-ized.
this big cautionary section where it was like, don't, well, I mean, this big cautionary section where it said that a lot of people died because people got paranoid that there were changelings among them, so they just murdered all of these celestial beings because
wait.
they were afraid that they might be impersonating people.
I suppose we should be not communicating in this fashion about this information that you. Should we be writing it down or something, or doing
I
some
mean,
kind of other?
Maybe, but
Something?
he already knows. He heard me the first time.
Well, maybe he
Only
hasn't
the
found
first
this
time.
book. Maybe he
yeah,
doesn't
he's
know all
able
this
to watch
extra
us
stuff.
somehow.
I'm sorry we couldn't find anything more useful
That's
on
okay.
that front.
We'll figure it out,
Well-
but keep in mind the code we talked about.
What code?
Important secrets send with a message
Mm.
spell, rather than saying them out loud,
Mm,
or write them down
yeah, that would
and
be
then
a good
burn
idea.
immediately.
I can't send
Burn after
a
reading.
message. Burn after reading. Preferably not in a flammable area.
Hmm.
What about the other
Right.
thing? Is that
We
think?
didn't.
We couldn't.
We're
Couldn't
no
find
leads.
anything. I looked at a lot of books. I mean, we don't even know what the thing is.
We thought that maybe a gem, but we couldn't find anything about gems.
And that librarian was no help. I mean, she knew a little bit about the Celestian.
Well,
That
she
stuff.
didn't know a lot. She just pointed me at a book.
Right. And that's the thing, is we don't know what the Eye of Twilight is, so there was nowhere to point us if it
It
wasn't
could be
there.
a necklace. It could be, I don't know.
We have that name.
Right. That's what I'm
Are
hoping.
you
That,
gonna? The dogs, you think will know?
yeah, that's what
that
I'm
name?
hoping my friends might be able to know,
Yeah.
is they might know this guy. And they might know, well,
Can't hurt to ask.
right.
Well, I mean,
I mean, it can hurt. Like,
Not what-
probably.
Dez's friends anyway, right? They're all pretty trustworthy and
Yeah, I mean, don't
honest.
tell them every single thing we've been doing, but I don't know. Follow my lead.
Okay.
Plus, we don't know who's watching right now. He could be listening to everything we say right now.
Why wouldn't he be?
How exhausting would that be, though?
I know, so boring, right? Do you think he,
Maybe they have a way to.
do you
fast
think he
forward through
watches
the
us while
boring
we go
stuff.
to the bathroom?
I don't know. That recording
Terrifying.
that he showed us was pretty fast.
Yeah, you don't talk that fast.
It's true.
Hmm.
Unsettling. Do you think he just sits around with like a snack? You know, hanging out, listening.
Maybe.
What a weirdo. Hey, you're a weirdo. I hope he heard that. Sick son of a bitch.
Okay, so we need to move, I think. Right?
Yeah.
We have a bit of a time crunch. Can we go see the dogs now?
Yeah. They've probably already seen us.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
I
not
usually notice
comforting.
them. But there's a lot of people here. Word
It's
might
big
be
city.
out. All right, this
All right.
way. Come on.
Okay.
You can bring that. You can bring the pastry with, Aldrin.
Prestidigitation, I'm all clean. There's no problem.
That is so handy.
It is.
I gotta
It
learn
really
that one.
is.
All right, so where are you gonna go?
Well, I mean, Des would know. So he's gonna kind of like head back to his like, kind of what he knew as like their neck of the woods in Verbo, and kind of specifically the area around where Hob used to live.
Okay. Yeah, you head back down to the wharf district. You leave the city, head back down to the area where the Silver Lyre is. And there are a couple of old haunts, some old kind of stilted shacks along the waterfront where you used to be able to gather with the dogs, places that you would crash, safe houses, so to speak, that you would often use to hide or to have meetings or to plan operations. You do pass by what you would have known as Hobbs' home, although you never really were super convinced that was actually his home, because he was rarely ever there. And as you pass by it, without making it too obvious, you kind of scan it, and you see no activity. In fact, the doors seem to be boarded up. No real markings on the building or anything like that, but it looks as though there are some boards and planks that have been nailed to the door frame to keep it closed. The windows have been boarded up. So that's one option. There are a couple of other locations. For example, there's a spot underneath the docks where there's a little bit of a raised stone foundation that perhaps was the old foundation of a pier that has long since been built over with the addition of a more robust network of wharves and platforms. And so there's an area there. There are also along the waterfront these large culverts that drain the sewer from the city into the river. And so there's like, as you would know to some extent, although you probably haven't delved through too extensively through some of those areas, they've been said to be quite dangerous. There's all sort of stories of different creatures and things of that nature in these catacombs and sewer systems beneath the city. But there's plenty of little areas beneath the wharf where you would have been able to meet with the dogs. So give me an investigation check, Des, as you revisit some of the haunts. While Desmond is sort of taking you through this sort of dark tour of the Wharf District, what are the rest of you? Are you guys keeping a lookout for anything, or are you trying to do anything yourselves, or just kind of helping Desmond as he tries to find the location of the dogs? I think, Chad, you're muted.
Trying to help him out, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost my character sheet here real quick. It's pretty good. Investigation. Okay, that's 24.
Very good indeed. You do a couple of you do 2 passes walking near the Hobbs' old place, and you don't get a sense that that's, you know, that there's a trapdoor that leads from beneath it into the establishment, but that's been boarded up. You know that's not it. So you take a walkway that goes down beneath the wharf. You have to climb down a ladder. There's a broken barrier that you know that the boards kind of swing out of the way. It's all like you remember from when you were here last time. There's even a few of the thieves' cant symbols for the dogs that you notice. They have been faded and worn, and in some spots they've been scratched out, but you can still see them faded beneath the defacement. The rest of you follow as you sneak through these boards and find yourself underneath this dank sort of wharf area. And there is a wooden door set in this foundation, and it appears to be closed. And Desmond, this is one of the spots where you and the dogs would have met on occasion. It's not a place to sleep or live necessarily, but kind of a hideout, almost like, if you think about kids, kind of a fort. It's got it was kind of a fort vibe where you'd go and like have your own space.
Would that be on the other side of this door? You're saying?
Yeah, like you're underneath the wharf, and there's this stone foundation of these old piers, and then there's this door that probably the kids built that conceals this entrance to some sort of a little, I don't know, like a space behind it. It seems to be closed.
Okay. Des will kind of motion them over, and he'll go up to the door and kind of use a kind of greeting type of knock that they used to use as like a code.
Okay.
Just to see.
You give the knock. You don't get a response.
He's going to try the door then.
Doesn't appear to be locked. And it doesn't have like a handle or anything. It just has like it doesn't have a knob, I should say. It has a handle, so you just kind of push it open, and it's dark inside. You kind of swing it, you kind of push it, and just and opens up. and you look inside, and it's very shadowy, very dark, hard to see. Give me a perception check as you peer inside.
Um, 14.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see anything. You're like standing at the threshold, just kind of peering in. The door is open.
This is different. Does it look like anybody's been here in a while?
Yeah, you look around, like there were footprints in the dirt and mud around the door.
Well, nobody here right now, but sometime recently. Yeah, he's just gonna keep looking around to see if he can find any sign of maybe like anybody he knows, or
are you gonna look inside this space, or are you just gonna leave?
Yeah, he's gonna start investigating the space. Yeah.
All right, as you step inside, you walk inside. Do you have your lantern?
Yeah,
or
I would
sort
think
of a
like
light
if it's
source?
totally dark, he's gonna
It's
have
dark.
to. Yeah, he's gonna have to pull out his lantern and light it up. And
okay, so you strike it, you get it lit, and you shine it in there. And as you take a step in, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Shit. 14.
All right. So as you step inside, you look around and you hear this little click, and you're like, fuck. And as you shine the light up, you see this rock, like a brick rock. It's been fashioned, but it's been tied to a rope, and it just comes swinging down. It hits you right in the face, doing 2 bludgeoning damage as it cracks you right square in the forehead, cracking open the skin on your forehead, and blood starts to roll down. And you hear the skittering of individuals in the room. Go, fuck, go. And just like chaos erupts inside. You shine the light over and you see like just the last glimpse of a kid sneaking through this little hole, almost like a small drainage pipe, and their feet just kind of disappearing through the hole.
I'll just yell after him. Oh, it's Des. Come back.
You like reach up and wipe your brow, and it's just bloody.
God, can't believe I did that. Should have seen that coming.
You don't hear any response to your shout, but you can see that certainly this place has been. It looks like there's been some people living here. Now that you shine the light around, you can see like there's some pallets that have been made to be like beds. Some blankets, some makeshift pillows. There's a couple of jugs that look to be like filled with water.
I thought you said these were your friends.
Right. Well, some of them look pretty small. They might not know me by sight, I guess.
Or by
So
name. You
you're just
said
kind of
who you were.
standing there at the. Des like walked in 2 feet in, got cracked, and now you're just kind of shining around, looking into the space.
Yeah,
it's probably
just
like
holding
goes
his head,
forward
like-
about, like another 15 feet in. So it's kind of like this
Okay.
square space. Pretty Spartan, but there's a drainage hole that, off on the left at the far end of the room that disappeared.
Does he need some gauze on that, Bruce?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, it's full on bleeding down his face right now. He
Use my
definitely
own
got home alone.
medicine.
I cast
Home
prestidigitation on the brick to clean the brick off.
At least it wasn't the micro machine.
The brick's just kind of like hanging there on a rope.
Yeah, clean his blood off of it.
Nice.
Desmond, make another dexterity save for me.
Do I step in a bucket and then fall through a window? Natural 20.
Nice. You hear the rope snap, and you can see you fucking look up, and you're like, fuck you. You can see where they had like just like cut the rope just a little bit to where it would
Just a
still
little
be
bit.
useful, but then it would snap, and the rope snaps, and the rock falls right down, and you're just able to like step out of the way as it almost hits your feet. just lands with a thud. But the funny thing is it lands on this. It lands on a wooden plank, and the plank like swings forward. I need you to make another dexterity save.
What?
I'm getting totally home alone right now.
Yes, you are.
We need to grab them and drag
Dude, these
them
are the
back.
fucking dogs, man. They don't mess around.
Hey, you know, like their 2 leaders got like either murdered or like disappeared.
That's right.
What are they gonna do?
That's right.
That's pretty good. It's 20. No, sorry, I can't add. 22.
Okay, it swings up and it smacks you right in the nose for 3 bludgeoning damage.
God. This is horrible.
The rest of you, make everybody make a charisma saving throw for me. Except for Des.
Oh, look at all these high
Nori?
rollers over here.
22.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
Rollers.
Oren?
Nat 1.
Both Nori and Xanthi are able to hold it back, but Lauren, you just burst out laughing.
Oh, if you would have asked, I would have just done that anyways.
It was funny. It was funny. It was totally funny.
I'm not laughing.
I am.
Poor
Especially the
Destiny,
bar.
help.
That last bit.
Thank you so much
very
for the
good.
gift sub. Appreciate you.
We'll hit your medicine kit and gauze your head up. How about that?
Sure.
Fix y'all up. You're fine. It could have happened to anybody.
Isn't
Was
that
attacked
the
by
place
children. Yes.
you met or hung out?
I mean, we didn't, I guess, have to go to all those lengths before. I don't remember.
I mean, you get the sense that if
I've
you
done it before,
investigated
yeah.
this space, you might be able to get an idea of who's here, perhaps, or like where they went, that kind of thing.
All right. So he'll
Do you
go
wanna
back,
go back in?
and
Fan out.
yeah, he'll go
Fan
back
out.
to the doorway, but this time investigate for traps.
All right, give me a investigation check, please.
Oh, pretty good. 19.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like maybe you've set off the traps. Hard to say.
All right, he'll kind of sidestep this dangerous area that he was in before and kind of go a little bit further in to see if he can kind of get a good look inside the space and recognize anybody or
Maybe
anything.
you could leave them a message.
With what?
I don't know, like there's all this graffiti on the wall.
It's got some blood.
It's true, you're just like... Right.
You
Where
look
did-
around, Desmond, and you can see that there are some books. There are some there's some half-eaten food. There are some rats that scurry away as you you cast your lantern over into the corner. They scurry between the cracks in the foundation and disappear. And then, of course, there's this, I don't know, 2 to 3 foot diameter pipe that you watch those feet disappear through as like it's the escape route for this. You know that this room has an escape route, and that's the escape route, and it just leads outside. So you could investigate that. You can investigate the books, or do whatever you want to do.
I'll take a quick look at the books. Just kind of see what they have.
Sure.
Off chance that it's something important
Okay.
or pertinent.
All right. Yeah. You go over and you grab one of the books and you flip it open, and it just appears to be a journal, and it has drawings of animals, and they're pretty good. Like you page through it, and there's like, a picture of like maybe a bear, and then like a raccoon, a lot of raccoons, some rats, and they all seem to have like little like top hats and suit jackets on and things like that, and little canes in their hands. Definitely like a budding artist here, kind of like Wind in the Willows style.
Look at this. That's very clever.
That's really good.
He's got a wee
can
hat on.
Can I have that? Hold on.
And Xanthi takes out her pencils and she starts drawing a dog on the last page.
Okay.
You don't think that would make them mad? Drew in their book?
Well, I just think that maybe their animals would like a friend.
Well, and they could probably learn from your art too. Artists
Maybe.
sharing their work.
Well,
Would Des
like-
happen to know who did this by any chance?
It's unclear.
All right.
In fact, you don't really recall any of the kids being artists or ever mentioning it, but it's fairly impressive.
Yeah, could be.
It's nice
new
stuff.
guy. Just right Des was here.
In the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Under the dog, I'll write Des was here.
Yeah.
And then I'll close it and put it back
And-
on the stand.
All right, Des. So do you go like look down, like do you shine your light or look down that pipe to
he's
see
gonna,
where it
like,
goes or anything?
Kind of peer down there, but he probably knows that. I don't know. He does not feel like crawling through there to try to chase after them.
Well, yeah, and you probably wouldn't have to. You could, given what you know about this area, you've been here before. You could probably go out and find the spot where it opens up on the outside. But as you peer in and you kind of shine your light, I'm gonna roll with advantage because I have an advantage. And this rock comes hurtling down. I rolled an 18. Does that hit you?
Yeah, that hits
Okay.
me.
You're gonna take 2 bludgeoning damage to the groinal area.
Ah!
You double over as it hits you. And then you just hear laughing, like giggling, and then it just kind of echoes through this pipe, and then it disappears.
Can we make charisma saves again?
You don't even have to this time. You can just laugh.
You little shits!
They really don't like you, Des. Are they mad at you?
I didn't think they were.
Well, you maybe would have done this when you were their age too, right? I mean, you don't have to talk right now.
All right, I know where this comes out. It comes out kind of around the way.
Des, you like feel weak in the knees from the shot to the groinal area, and you like sit down on the bed, and it just snaps from your weight. It just breaks, and you like fall through the bed. So your knees are like up at your neck right now as you're just sitting there, just shaking your head.
I need to get out of here.
I start playing like some kind of circus music to all of this.
This isn't right.
Give me a performance check, please, Alren.
Yes, please. That's an 11.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a fun little ditty for sure. It adds to the humorous situation with Desmond taking all these blows.
All right, getting out of here.
As you turn, you pull yourself up from the bed, Desmond, and you say, "We're getting out of here," and you turn. As you're all kind of turning to leave, the door that you walked through closes, slams shut, and you hear something
Everybody
bar
take
the
cover.
back.
Hit the deck.
Oh, God. All right. Hey, I'm just here to talk.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you don't know me. You can see my face, can't
I
you?
wouldn't have asked you if we knew who you were, you asshole.
My name's Des. I'm a dog. I used to practically live down here.
Des who?
Desmond. Adelar.
Prove it.
Where's Frog?
Did you say frog?
Big Tony?
What? Desmond? Who are those stiffs that you with?
They're my friends.
Really cool.
They're nice. They're good people. I understand the rock over the door, but the one in the tube. Come on. That was just
Never can be too careful. And then you hear the bar from the door come scraping wood against wood, opens, and then the door pushes open. And you see in front of you quite an interesting combination of individuals. You see this tall, wiry young man with this shock of unruly brown hair, these piercing green eyes, and he's got sort of a young face, but the lines that are accentuated by the dirt in his face. And then you see this smaller individual, quite petite, delicate features, and this curly blonde hair that kind of pops up and stands on end and kind of falls backwards in a bob. And you immediately recognize the two of these individuals, Desmond, Frog and Big Tony. And Frog kind of looks in there and says, "Is it really you, Desmond?"
It's me. I'm right here.
And Big Tony's like, "We thought you was dead."
"Oh, I'm not dead. I just had to lay low for a little bit."
"Yeah, well, you left town. Old Hobbs dead." She steps through, and she's got a dagger that she sheathes as she looks around.
"Jeez. A little paranoid, aren't you?"
"Never can be too safe around here.
Suppose.
We gotta fend for ourselves, Desmond."
Somebody did kill Hobbs, so like it's not totally, you know.
What do you know about it?
Only what I've heard.
Do you know anything about it?
Other than that he's dead. We've been on our own ever since. Just me and Frog. That's right, me and Big Tony on our owns. Yeah. Fending for ourselves. No dogs around to help. Everybody just kind of disappeared after Hob died.
Really? I didn't really think of him as the...
Tell him about Rook. He doesn't care about Rook. That's our problem.
What about Rook?
Tell him about Rook, Tony. Fuck. She comes in and sits down right on the there's a little stool right next to the area where the book is that you drew in. Fucking Rook. It was just the three of us, you know, doing what we had to do, looking for a way to make some scratch. You know, you gotta eat. It takes money to eat. You can't steal every meal. So we thought we'd pull a job, you know. We went through, you know, the method. Well, what old Hob told us. And we gathered some information. We looked for an opportunity and we thought we found one. And Rook stepped up. You know, he's always been the sneakiest one of us. You know, Rook, sneaky little bastard. And we sent him in to case a place and he ain't come back. And so we're going to go try to find him. That's what we're going to do. We got to go find him, right, Frog? Yeah, that's right, Tony. We're going to go, we got to go find Rook. He's been gone for like 12 hours or something crazy. He went out last night, you know, and he ain't never come back, and that ain't like Rook. You know, Rook usually comes back with good information and maybe, you know, some vegetables or something. And he ain't come back at all, and so we're worried about him, you know, and we got to find him. And I don't know what I'd do if we lost Rook. You know, we lost everybody. And it's okay, Frog. Like relax. Right. She gets up and she kind of goes over and like puts her little hand on his back, and he's this kind of tall, lanky guy.
Where'd this happen? Where did he go?
Well, we were casing a warehouse. Darrow's. Darrow's. The trading company, right? And, well, we thought we'd make a score. You know, nothing big, just something to get us by. Something to tide us over. And, you know, we thought Rook would come back and we'd have a good... We thought we'd have something. It's been a long time since we had a win, you know? Stealing scraps of food and shit.
Yeah.
Even the orphanage wouldn't take a lot like us. Not that we'd go there, right? Right, Frog? Hell no. There's no way we're going there.
You're too old anyway.
And just as soon hop on a boat and work the river if I need to. You know, there's some other gangs have been hiring and shit, but, you know, we don't want to get involved with some of that shit. You know, like, I don't want to be... Look, there's limits, right, to what we want to do. Yeah, that's right. We're just, you know, we like to steal from the rich and, you know, take our cut. And if we can help our friends out, we help our friends out. But old Rook, he's gone, and we got to help him out. That's right. We're going after Rook tonight. What the hell you doing here, Desmond?
Well, I mean, I came to see you guys and ask you a few things about what's been going on around here, because I just been gone.
It's been a shit show, man.
I could see that.
Yeah, we've been doing what we can. You know, we're getting by, but we need a score, and this was it. It still could be. Maybe Rook's out there. Who knows?
What do you think happened to him? Do you think he got caught?
You know, it's hard to say. There's a new crew that's been pushing in, the River Snakes.
River Snakes.
Yeah. They think they're all, you know, a big deal now that they, you know, the dogs have been put down. They say, you know, it's bullshit.
River Snakes. Those guys. Did they get more people or something?
Yeah. They got some heavies, man. They got some stone cold killers.
Jeez.
I don't know. Maybe they have something to do with Rook's disappearance, you know? I feel like they've been watching us. I don't know why. We said that we wouldn't go to work for them, and then they, like, got nasty. Threatened to take us out, you know, that typical shit. We've been laying low, you know? We're not causing any strife. We just need a score.
I can understand that.
So we're going after Rook. We're gonna go do something. We thought we'd go maybe to the warehouse and like stake it out, see if we can find sneak in there. You know, just see if we can find any trace of Rook and you know, yeah. And if we need to, we'll go track down those bastards, the River Snakes. I mean, we ain't much, you know, by you looking at us, but we got hot. We're brave. I'll kill if I need to. Whoa, Tony. Big Tony. Settle down. Settle down.
Des will turn around to the rest of the group. I need to help these guys out. I think it'll help us out. Chip in. Get a little. Give a little, get a little. That kind of thing.
Friend is missing, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's... Yeah, I need to help these guys. So I don't blame you if you don't want to come, but I think I'm going to help them out because I know I can.
Yeah, we could use your help, Des. Big time. We got to get Rook back, or at least find out what happened to him. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not very sneaky, but, you know, like, I have other talents.
Yeah, we definitely can help out with this.
All right. What time were you thinking of doing all this?
There's no time like now. Tonight.
Right, lead the way.
We take it tonight. Look, Tony's got it all mapped out. Tony, tell him. All right, check it out. She brings out the book with the drawings of the bears and the raccoons.
Wait, this is yours.
And she pages through and she's like, the fucking dog, this is pretty good. And then she pages like to the back of the book that you guys didn't look at, and there is a schematic of the warehouse. And she spreads it out. She's like, she readjusts your lantern, and in this dark space beneath the wharf of Verbobonc, the four of you join these two young kids as you begin to plan this mission to go after this missing boy, Rook. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session as you guys plan your next move. And we will come back next week to find out what happens.
Just dragged right back in.
That's right. It's like the mafia.
Yep.
But good on those kids for not joining one of the other gangs, because those are
Yet.
there's some bad operators, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of them. These are just two of the kids, but yeah, these are a couple of the best of the kids for sure. All right, well, hey guys who are hanging out in the chat, guys and gals and everyone else, thank you so much for being here. Great to see you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us as we go. The lights dim on this particular episode. We see our companions, our golden shears, getting ready to work with the dogs or what's left of them to go on a mission to rescue their friend Rook. We're going to give away some stuff. So we've got a couple of things to give away, including a copy of CZRPG's, what are we giving away from CZRPG again? Amazing Encounters and Quests, which is a fantastic 5th edition supplement for your RPG pleasure. I hope that you guys will give yourselves an opportunity to win this thing. Let me bring this up. Where is it? CZRPG. There you go. Amazing Encounters and Quests. We're also going to be giving away 2 $10 gift cards to the Troll Lord Games web store. So big shout out to Troll Lord Games for coming over and throwing some digital loot our way to give to you. And we're going to go ahead and give that stuff away in just a couple of minutes. We're going to have our team, our players, go around the table and do some outros. Tell us if you've got anything that you want to plug for sure. But there's a couple of new people in the chat tonight. Specifically, I noticed that there was a question from Twofull Gaming to wondering what class and levels we are. So if you guys, once you go around, and we're all 5th level. But if you could kind of tell people what class you are, that might be of interest as we do our outros. And then we're going to give away some loot. So you have a couple of minutes still to get in on the loot. And then stick around because we're going to rate and do some friends of ours who are currently streaming. All of that said, let's start with Chad.
Hey everyone, Chad here, Vamp Wickman on the web. Tonight on this stream, I play Ulrin, the Raven, 5th level half-elf College of Swords Bard. Like I said at the beginning, with a tragic backstory, whose parents were killed a few years ago by some shape-changing mysterious creature, and he's been on the run since and is just happy to be in a group at the moment, not traveling by himself as a bounty hunter. So hopefully he can find more information out about what happened. And then out there in the real world, you can find me at GaryCon and Founders and Legends, part of the staff there. Very excited to see as many people as possible there, play some games, throw some dice, and, celebrate a life well played.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Great always to have you here. And thank you again for all the work that you and the other volunteers and staff put in at GaryCon. It is a fantastic event. I can't wait to, all of us will be there. So if you're going to be there, please make sure to reach out to us. If you see us strolling about, don't hesitate to say hello. We would love to meet you and get to know you while we're all there together in celebration of Gary and the wonderful 50-year anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to be a blast. Let's jump over to Andy G3D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Andy, also known as Andy G3D here on Twitch and on other places around the internet. Yep, you can find me here every Tuesday night playing Desmond. Des is a 4th level human rogue, 1st level wizard, multi-classed him just recently. And yeah, now current member, unwitting member of the Wet Bandits. If you don't know who they are the suckers from Home Alone. You get Home Alone for a whole movie, much like Des did when he went to go see.
Yes, you did.
Did not see that coming, but I knew as soon as I went in that door and Dave said something like, "Do you open the door?" or something like that, and I was like, "Oh boy." Should have checked for traps.
Yeah. But what fun is that? I mean, it was so much more fun to get Home Alone.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That was awesome.
Awesome. Well, you're always a good sport, Andy, for anything that I throw at you. So I appreciate that about you very much. Thank you for being here, Andy. I can't wait to see you at GaryCon in a couple weeks. Let's jump over to Ashley. Hey, Ash.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. You may know me as Minnesota Muse. You can find me as Minnesota Muse on Blue Sky or on our Discord or as Minnesota Muse 99 on Threads. And I play Xanthi, and Xanthi is a divine soul sorcerer changeling. which is why she is gold. And see, I'm gonna be DMing a campaign coming up first Thursday in March. It's going to be a little spooky and it's gonna be a little homebrewy, and it'll be loosely based in 5e, just to have something to go from. But I can't wait for it. It's gonna be called The Undying Sky.
Nice. Can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Ash. Appreciate you very much. And I can't wait to see what you have in store for your players. Last but certainly not least, let's jump over to Shelly. What up, dude?
Speaking of a player, what up? What up? I am very excited for Undying Sky too, and I'll be in it.
Yeah.
I'm Shelly, and you can find me as Flea Monkey out in the world, and hey, it's Flea Monkey on Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky. And I play Nori Bibblespark, a 5th level Hexblade warlock with the memory of Swiss cheese. That's about her story.
We call her the big cheese.
The big cheese with a lot of cheddar.
Package.
Yeah, total package. I got some nicknames. It's how I roll.
The Hexy Librarian.
Yes, the Hexy Librarian, who did not do. She's a little emo this week because of things that happened to her last week, so she didn't have a little Hexy song for you guys. So next week, maybe we're with the dogs. I'll feel like singing a song for you guys.
Wow. Okay.
And also, to wrap it up, you can find me on Wednesdays on Tithalanos' channel doing a little Pathfinder 2E. And this Saturday, the finale of Tales from the Whisper Woods.
So good.
And then, gosh, next Thursday already. It's going to be the Undying Sky.
Crazy.
Yep. Things are happening around here, and we appreciate you all for being part of it. If you want to get more involved, you want to get to know us more and maybe get in on some of the games that we play, both streamed and behind the scenes on our Discord, please come over and join us. We have a great Discord community. We have been putting together some offline games in the last couple of weeks. Specifically, we've got a West Marches game of Shadow Dark RPG going on, and we are going to be having a onboarding session 0 for new players this Sunday, the 1st of March, I believe, if I got that right. Someone please fact check me. That is the plan. Nope, that's not right, is it? The 3rd of March. So definitely, if you're interested in that, hit me up or come on over to our Discord. I just put the link in the chat. Of course, you guys know who I am. I'm Dave. I'm here usually all the time. And you can find me in the Discord. So come on over and say hi. I'd love to get to know you. Thank you for the gift subs. Thank you for following us. Thank you for the resubs and all of the awesome support that you've provided to us. We're going to give away some stuff. So we are going to do that right now. We've got 3 things to give away. You have to be in the chat to win. We're going to do that right now. If you want to get in on this giveaway ! Drawing, you have one more chance to do it. We'll let you choose what you'd like, whether it is a copy of CZRPG's Amazing Encounters and Quests or the $10 gift card to the Troller Games digital web store. So here we go. Ashley, if you wouldn't mind with the 5-second countdown, please.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right. First winner of the night is Hot a Pinch Bottom. Hot a Pinch Bottom. Ow! Goosing their way into the winner's seat. Hot a Pinch Bottom, are you still here? Please.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so Hot a Pinch Bottom. Would you like a $10 gift card or do you want the CZRPG loot? You let us know. How to pinch.
He wants
Bottom.
all of it.
Yes, they want it all. But you do have to choose $10 gift card to Troller Games or the Amazing Encounters and Quests from CZRPG. And we'll go ahead and tell us what you want, please.
They said loot.
Loot.
The book. You got it. All right. We will get you that. I will connect with you after we're done here with the stream and get you the link to download that content. All right. So our next winner is going to be Cardman 2467.
The
Cardman.
luckiest man on Twitch.
Cardman. Well done, Cardman. I will get you the code that you can use at the Troll Lord Games web store. And we have one more to give away, my friend. So here is the last winner of the night. You still have an opportunity, my friends, to get in on this. If you want to type !drawing, this is your last chance because we're rolling it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Baptized in pus.
Yeah.
You have won the giveaway. Dan, congratulations. I look forward to getting your message back, and I will get you a link to the download, to the web store coupon code. Now we're going to go ahead and raid into some friends of ours. We're going to go visit the Hero Club, my friends. So as we raid into the Hero Club, please give them a good old-fashioned Guild Superior hello. We've got the Tater Tot emote. We've got the raid emotes. Please give them some love as we start this raid. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you all. And if you like what you saw tonight, please consider following the channel. If you're already following, consider a subscription. It helps us to reinvest in the channel and bring new assets and new players and new stories to the channel. So we look forward to getting in the gaming table with you. Thank you so much, you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.